Morning everybody. The next video that we're going to be putting up, which this is the prelude to it, I don't normally come on and talk about the video, but this video is a little bit special to me. We went to the Pima Air Museum, and that's in Tucson, Arizona, and it's right across the street from the Air Force Base there where the boneyard is, and it's an active Air Force base, so they have planes taking off and landing there also. The reason I'm on here is this video turned out to be pretty long. It's about 30 minutes long. I really don't like putting videos up that are more than 10, maybe, 10 seems to be the limit. And, because everybody's going to lose interest before that 10 minutes is up. And so 10, I try to stay around there. But this is almost 30 minutes long. And I just wanted to let you know, if you want to go ahead and go to the next video and wait till the next one comes out, that's fine. I just wanted to give you a heads up on what the video was about and then the length of it. I have a personal interest in the video because I spent about 14 years in the military service between the Marine Corps and the Navy, and I was always in the air wings. I love airplanes, always have loved airplanes, and can't ever get enough. If I could find a house that was off the end of a military runway, I'd build a house there. So I'm an airplane nut. So if you're not an airplane nut and you don't like military airplanes and the sights and sounds and the stories behind them, then that's okay. Go ahead and look for our next travel video, which will be coming up soon too. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. If you like the first clip of this video, I kind of think you'll like the rest of it. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate all the subscribers we have and all the people that watch our video. And if you want to leave us a comment on what we're doing right, doing wrong, go ahead, no problem. We like reading the comments, and we'll try to get back to every one of them. So take care. Down the road we go. Hope you enjoy the video. Okay, hope you guys can hear this. F-16s. Two flight or a four flight. Good morning everybody. Down the road we go to Pima Air Museum, which is in Tucson, Arizona. It's across the street from the boneyard where they keep a lot of old military aircraft to be either destroyed or mothballed. So hope you enjoy military type airplanes, and we're going to really have a good day today. I can feel it. So take care. Talk to you a little bit later. So let's go. Alright, this is the Pima Air Museum. We're going to look around. Ooh, it's a tail of a B-52 Stratofortress. That's where the tail gunner would be. Pretty cool. I can't believe that thing flew. Wouldn't fly with me in it. Strange looking airplane there. That's an old Blue Angels plane. Well, so far this place is pretty slick. They got a lot more airplanes outside, I would imagine. But yeah, not bad at all. Let me give you one once around here real quick. Sounds like somebody needs a nap. Look at the MiG up there. This is what I first worked on when I was in the Marine Corps. F4 Phantoms. Not that model, that's the Air Force model, but basically similar. Great airplane. Took a long way to turn it though. Big, but it was hot. It wasn't a hot rod, but it had the power. Two J79s, 25,000 pounds of thrust each. And you see how hot it got. The tail section bluing. And there's the arresting hook. They were on all Phantoms, even Air Force, because sometimes if you had emergency landing, you could drop the hook and catch the stationary rescue. Cool airplane. Yeah, front of a Warthog. That's off the USS Kitty Hawk. Now that's a big airplane. You talk about powerful. Whew. Man, don't know what the thrust ratio will be on this, but they move. Never worked on one. But if you went up in there, you're coming out hamburger out the back. Huey gunship. Huey gunship, Cobra. Alright, here we go. A-10 Warthog. If you ask me, the baddest airplane in the inventory right now as far as ground-to-air support. That gun, that Gatling gun out the front there, goes all the way through the aircraft to the back. And they shoot expended uranium shells. One bad mamma jamma. Take a lot of hits and keep on running. Here's one of the guns. Is that cool or what? .30mm cannon. This is the SR-71, and then some kind of, not sure what this is. Looks like a test airplane or something. Let's go see what it says. Let you read that and check it out. This big SR-71 is one tough airplane. How tight it was inside this aircraft. I know it. That is a big seaplane. You wouldn't think that'd fly, much less float and fly. There's another seaplane over here. Well, they got a Connie. Yeah, when we were here last time, yeah, it's still there. That's a different one, but that's an aardvark. F-111. A Russian MiG.
Got the 35 on the side.
Yeah. This was a very expensive airplane when it was built.
Yeah, help me out. We'll get more now.
That's commonly referred to as a Connie, which is a constellation, a three-tail. Very strange airplane, great airplane. Used for a long time. Don't remember the designation of this, but they called it the Flying Guppy, as you can tell why. It looks like a guppy. Yeah, thing's huge. That whole front end opens up so they can slide like a rocket motor inside there. Isn't it weird? It had to fly weird. It had to. Yeah. Convair B-36J Peacemaker Strategic Bomber. Yeah, 1947 to 1959. So it didn't last very long. It was like at the start of the jet age and just couldn't keep up. They came out with a B-52 and this thing got mothballed. On loan from the National Museum of the United States Air Force. That's why it's got protectant on it and stuff. This place is huge outside. They got a lot of airplanes. Okay, I'll show you the difference between two jet engines here. This was what's called a centrifugal flow, which means the air comes in the front centrifugally around there like that. Okay, it feeds into the compressor and the combustion chambers into the turbine and thrust out the back. And notice it's kind of short, you know, and it's not a real powerful engine. It's only got 5,200 to 6,100 pounds of thrust. But it's because the air is not going down the middle. It sucks it from around the side and feeds the compressor and then into the... This is what's called an axial flow engine. You'd have a big steel duct on it like out here, and the air goes straight in to the inlet guide vanes into the compressor, spins the compressor, or well, it doesn't spin it. Going in, once it starts, the turbine is spinning that compressor, compresses the air, and because it's an axial flow, it flows through the engine to the hot section where the turbine is and out the back. And the turbine spins the compressor, which compresses the air for the turbine. See? Where that one goes from around, this one goes straight down. So all modern day aircraft have jet engines like this. They may have what's called a fan on the front of it, which is just like a bigger pre-compressor. It's pretty cool. This would have more horsepower than that, or more thrust, not horsepower, but thrust. Boeing B-52G Stratofortress bomber from 1959 to 1994. a decoy missile. Alright, we got an A7 here. I worked on these in the Navy for a couple of years. This actually belonged to a squadron right next to us there at Lemoore. So pretty cool. Wasn't fast. This airplane will not break the speed of sound straight down full bore, but it was a great bomber. See the 3 pylons on the wings on this side, the 3 on the other side. You got a rocket launcher on the side of the fuselage, so they could carry a lot of bombs and cause them hate and discontent. They were not a fighter; they were a bomber, basically. They were what's called an attack airplane. So in other words, close ground support. They would fly in and drop bombs to, you know, outside of where the troops are and stuff. And they had the rockets just in case they'd run up against somebody that was flying by they needed to shoot, but that usually didn't happen. These are A6s. Basically, they would outfit these with electronic pods. These were snoopers. They'd fly in and jam radar and jam the radar so that the A7s and the Phantoms could get in and kill the radar. Pretty cool airplane. Really tiny motors. Not very big for what size the airplane is, but again, off aircraft carrier or ground. They also drop bombs. They drop bombs, but most of the time they were used as electronic warfare. One engine. A Rolls-Royce modified by Allison. No burner. Engines usually didn't last but about 250 to 300 hours before we had to replace them. They were civilian engine. They're really not made for this airplane. I was in power plants then. I did a lot of engine swaps. Unfortunately.
The EP018?
That's the Marines. That squad. You remember Pappy Boyington?
Yeah.
He didn't fly these, but VMA-214 was the squadron that he was in. This is an A4. They're just, you know, no burner, but they are a hot rod because they're a little tiny airplane, and the pilots really love flying. So they were at El Toro when I was there too. 214. Harriers. All mechanically flown, no computer on board. They had to fly them by the seat of their pants and with their hands. That's why a lot of people died in them. They were called widow makers. You were trying to hover, you had your hands full. I'll show you here something. Show you how they flew. You see this? See this tail?
Yeah.
This is on each side of the tail. They have. This is a this is a puffer, what they call a puffer. In other words, it blows air out. Of course, they open and close this for how much air is coming out. That's what makes the plane do this if they're hovering. They also have, well, get in the right mode here. They also have a puffer here, which gives the tail the up and down. That's on the tail. Here's the main jet right here. 2 outlets. These exhausts what give you lift. They move in this type direction so the airplane can hover back and forward. They have puffers at the end of the wings. There's one here. Puffer blows air that way or out the bottom, which gives the airplane this when it's hovering, and that's how they fly. All controlled through a couple control sticks in the cockpit by hand, not a computer. You had to have cojones the size of basketballs to fly these things. You can see here, it shows the degrees that these turn. You can see from 0 degrees, which they're going forward, to 95 degrees they were hovering. They were, you know, doing this. Those constantly moved to stable the aircraft. And the intakes on both sides. Again, you don't want to get up this close when one's running because you're going to meet the inside of that engine up close and personal, and it will not be good for sure. They'd be sweeping Mr. Dave off the deck in the back of him with a mop.
Welcome to Hangar 3.
Thank you.
Two training aircraft that the Army Air Corps used and one that the Germans used. Two bombers, the B-24 Liberator. In the corner back here is a late war A-26 Invader. It was a real neat hot rod. And this is a good old workhorse that caused a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
Had to be flown the entire time it was off the ground. Couldn't trim it and set the trim and drink coffee. Somebody had to sit in your seat, hold on to the yoke, play with the throttles, because it just kind of wandered around, I guess. It has a different kind of wing. It has a long, thin wing. An engineer named Davis came up with it, consolidated. And I think that it was supposed to be on a seaplane. But then they got a panic call from the government. They needed a bomber. So Consolidated came up with this. And I don't even know if they built a prototype or not. They just started building it. And they licensed it out so that 8 places in America were building them finally by mid-war. One of them was a humongous, biggest factory in the world, Ford plant, in Willow Run, Michigan. They turned one of them out an hour in that place.
Gosh.
They worked 24/7 until the end of the war. It was such a big plant. It was a mile-long production line, and a lot of stuff was shipped in by rail. So portions of these things were coming in there and then all being
Put
bolted
together.
and stuff. But
A good friend of mine flew those during World War II.
what do you say about it?
He loved the airplane, but he said, yeah, you're right. He had to fly it all the time.
Yeah.
He was
a lot
nice.
of them were a little bit upset when they saw their names on that board and not the B-17 board.
Oh, yeah. But he said he had they'd never lost an engine or anything, and he loved the airplane. I guess it got him through.
I had a customer who flew him, and he never flew after the war again. He was stationed in either Italy or North Africa or something.
Mm-hmm.
They had missions where they lost. One mission, he was too sick to fly.
Oh, look at that.
They lost something like 50 planes, 1,100 kids, one mission.
My God. Yeah. My friend Lomax, he was in Italy. I know that. A long time ago. I think he was 19 years old, I think.
Yeah. That's the theater of war that produced Catch-22 was a bombardier and or navigator.
Yeah. Thank you for the information.
Yeah. Well, enjoy.
Okay. So that's what Lomax flew right there.
Oh, okay.
Big, lumbering boxcar, basically. These planes are still flying today, hauling cargo and people. Mostly in South America, but
Yeah.
and we thought they pushed trailers out,
Yeah.
25 a day, pushing these out in 1 an hour, which is about the same.
Yeah.
24 hours, 24 of them. This is what a kamikaze plane looked like. It was pretty rudimentary. Up underneath, they would have a bomb attached to it that they didn't drop. They would fly it into other, like aircraft carriers and stuff. Sometimes effective, sometimes not. Suicide. Can you say atomic bomb? Sentimental journey. Sentimental journey. This is the same type of plane that dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Oh.
B-29. Big airplane. Okay guys, this is a B-17 from World War II, and I kind of have a personal interest in them because when I was in a model airplane club in Memphis, Tennessee, we raised a lot of money for the Memphis Belle. And eventually I became one of the board members on the Memphis Belle Association and was actually glad when they moved it to the Air Force Museum so it could be really good taken care of, and they've rebuilding it from the ground up. It's actually going to be flight worthy, and it's supposed to come out, I think, next summer. I'm not sure. I got to check on that. But anyway, I do have a personal connection with B-17s, and I just love them to death. So I hope you enjoyed this one. How would you like to be stuffed up in there with a Messerschmitt coming up your butt? I bet that wasn't fun. Bunch of brave guys. This is the ball turret gunner. You had to stand there the whole flight, and that would hydraulically go up inside the aircraft. If it didn't, when you landed, you usually ate the farm because that would drag the runway. Here's the bomb bay. I don't know if you can see, it's awful dark in here, but that would be the cockpit up there. And the bomb racks. The radio and other assorted crew members would be in the back. This is also the ball out, or the bailout spot. If you're going down and your bombs are gone, or not, they're not gone, you drop them, then you just follow them out there. Okay guys, this was Pima Air Museum in Tucson, Arizona. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a little long, but I hope you enjoyed getting to the end. So thanks for watching. Leave some comments if you can, and try to subscribe also. And down the road we go.